Perfect. So now that we're here, I sent you the video. The password is how I typed it out, exactly how it is. So whenever you finish it, today's class, we'll do the training, and then what I'll do is I'll upload it the same way, and then you'll use the same password. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. So give me a pair. Let's look at a trade. What trade would you like to look at?
GBP USD.
The one that I love, GBP USD.
The one that I actually took a loss earlier.
Perfect. So let me see, what the heck do I have drawn out here? Okay. All right, so GBP USD. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the monthly, okay?
Okay.
And you let me know if I'm moving too fast, all right?
Yep, definitely.
Perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with the first step of the three-step system, right? Remember
Yes.
how in the first step we look for this right here. We want to look for the market's trend, right? Understanding long-term where the market is going. So if the market is currently on an uptrend on the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, right? Then when we move on to the second step, looking for signs of reversals, we're going to focus on anything. In the second step, we're going to focus on what is the market possibly going to do before it continues going up, right? So if a 4 hour, 1 hour, and 3 hour, 30-minute candles, charts we're looking at, we're going to focus on any possibilities that maybe the market is going to move opposite before eventually going forward, right?
Correct.
So let's say for instance, we're looking at this trade and we notice, for instance, here on GBP USD, we notice that the market was on an uptrend over here, right?
Correct.
And it broke it, right? The market was trending upwards and it broke that trend.
Yes.
Now, I understand that based off of past data, the market is below any of its key support or resistance areas, right?
Correct.
So if I'm going over here based off of this, I know that she just broke out of a key support or resistance. So it is possible that this trade can potentially fall down to here and then make the decision if it's going to either continue going down or if it's going to bounce up and continue going, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, also, how we are training ourselves to look at the market is what? I understand that the market was on an uptrend. It broke out, right? To confirm that breakout, we need to see a what? A
testing.
Yeah, the retest.
Yeah, retest.
So if I'm looking for a retest and I don't see one here, this is a strong red candle, right?
Yes.
Then with the information that I've set for myself right here, I'm just gonna pull out these trend lines. Oh, wrong one. I'm just gonna set out my key support and resistance areas, right? I know that this is one here, and this is one here, right? So now I at least know I broke it down, right? I know that there's 3 zones that the market can potentially reach. We'll be nice and draw out this one, worst case scenario, right?
Yeah.
Now, you understand when you draw your support or resistance, you're going off of where the candles touched either the body or the wick. You're not going to just focus on because all the candles with the wicks touched it here.
Yes.
It means that. No, I'm looking to the left, remember? When in doubt, always look left.
Correct.
So here I have 1 touch, I have 2 touches. This was this broke out, this retested, kept going up. And then what happened? The market came back in and retested and then started ranging. So here's the 3rd touch. Here's the 4th touch. Remember, 3rd touch is the confirmation. Fourth touch is either usually the signal that the market is either going to continue going up or if it's going to make a strong push down, which it did right here.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So now we see all of this. We understand. Let's look in the same first step that we're focusing on. Let's try to see if we can focus on finding that retest after that breakout, right?
Yeah.
So here's the market. The market is still showing us kind of the same picture, right?
Yes.
To my understanding, here's the clear breakout of the trend. All right. I don't see nothing. Everything still seems the same to me. Do you spot anything that may kind of alarm you? Hey, wait, we should spend more time on this chart here. Other than this right here. Other than
I would say that it's forming a cup. I will just consider it, but not really focusing like this. Where can I actually draw?
You got to use the annotate.
Ooh.
I think if you click on more, it'll give you the option to annotate.
Can you see my arrow? It's just me looking at my arrow.
No, don't worry about it. Here, let me show you what I see right away. I see that the market hit the support area. You see this green line?
Yes.
See if I can make it more thick. I'm gonna use this line right here, this green line.
Oh, so that's the major support line now.
Well, in this time frame, the market touched this previous support, right? It broke this one, right? There's a few here. There's one here, and then there's this one, right? These are minor supports, but we understand that it's at a support. So for the market to continue going in this direction, going down, we need to see signs that it's gonna go down, right? So we understand what? In the long term, that this trade is gonna go down, right?
Yeah.
I usually say this, and it usually does happen. Whenever the market breaks out of a trend, right?
Yes.
You always look for the market to return where the trend starts.
Okay.
Right? So here's an example. Here's an uptrend, right?
Yes.
The market broke out of it. Look, it came back to its original position, and I'm sure if we put a circle here on the smaller time frames, we'll see some hesitation before it actually continues going down. But look, if we draw our support area around here, we notice that when the market broke out of this support, it came back to retest it, and then it retested it again, faked out, trying to get people to think like, oh no, it's gonna continue going up. No, the market what did they do? They kept pushing the price down. You understand?
Yeah.
So the same thing goes for here. If this is the origin of the trend right here, right? This support area here. I know long term that eventually this trade will go down.
I see. I see. Yeah.
Now, I want to see, right? Because from this support to this resistance of that candle that's formed, that's 1,000 pips.
Yep.
Well, no, really, that's 100 pips. Excuse me.
Okay.
That's 100 pip candle right here in the weekly chart. Now, that 100 pips, depending on how much your lot size is in your account, that can make a big difference, right? That's why proper risk management is important. So if I'm focusing on this, I now know, all right, I need to see that for me to make a decision moving forward before I look at the second step of the 3-step system that I'm teaching you guys, right? I want to make sure that I have 3 confirmations, right? This is a system of 3. I'm using 3 steps, looking for 3 confirmations for each step, right? And before I enter a trade, I need 3 confirmations as well, which is going to go ahead and help me do that. A system of 3.
Yes.
So now that we looked at the weekly, let's look at the daily. Let's see if we have more clarity on what happened. So check this out. This strong red candle still broke out. I still don't see when she broke out that retest. So maybe we'll see that when we're looking at the second step, right?
Yes.
But look, check this out. We have way more information now. we have the fact that this candle, I mean, this trend was clearly broken, right?
Yes.
And she came down and tested this support area that we spotted on the monthly and the weekly, right?
Yeah.
Now we noticed that when she touched it, she's starting to retrace a little bit. So
yeah,
on this chart here, I see the same thing that I saw on the weekly and the monthly. So I don't need to spend much time here. I have the 3 confirmations already. Can you tell me which confirmations we have?
the direction and the reversal and the entry point.
Correct. But we're not looking at entering a trade yet. But we do have the broken trend. That's 1, right? We have the touch of the support. That's 2. And now the retracement after she touches that support, that's the 3rd confirmation for us to move forward to the 2nd step. So we have the idea that in the long term, we understand long term that this trade is going to come down, right?
Yes.
Now, for it to come down long term, we need the market to do this. Come back, either touch this support area or this trend line, right? Clearly, it broke that trend. Now, if she comes back and wiggles back in, then obviously that's a confirmed fake out of the breakout of
Correct. Yeah.
Long term, we understand that the market would always eventually come back into this trend. It may not be today, it may not be next month. It could be in September, it could be in July of next year. You know? So
yes,
what we want to see is the market come back, retest this support, and continue going down, right? Because we wanted to somewhat duplicate what it was doing here. Right? That's always like the ideal movement of the market you want to see. You want to see it come down, retest that same line it broke out, come down, right? Retest. We can start seeing this, right?
yes,
So now I want you to focus on the 2nd step of the 3 steps, right? We're going to go to the 4-hour chart. Let's see if we have any signal here. So I'm seeing what? I'm seeing here that the market, after 2 strong red candles, when it touched the support area, that's signaling to me that this is a strong support, right?
yeah,
So we may see some consolidation here before she makes a decision of either going up or down. You with me? So what are we looking for? What are we looking for here on the 2nd step?
Is a retest. Whether it's going to break out or fake out.
Correct. Is this market going to, in this area of focus, we want to focus on if the market is going to continue going down or if it's going to give us what we want.
Correct.
So now, let's say I was looking for an opportunity to trade this trade. I can say to myself, okay, I see she bounced off of this support area, right? The confirmation of that is that this candle failed to close below, and then this candle closed above, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is we have the opportunity now to decide moving forward if this is a potential trade that we're going to go against the long-term trend.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yep.
So here, what you're going to look for is your signs of reversal of the overall trend. People mistake when I say signs of reversals. They're looking for diamonds, triangles. They even look for the quarters that fell out of their pockets sometimes. You know, like you can focus on what I'm trying to say. You're looking for signs of reversal of the overall long-term trend. You understand?
Yes. Yep.
What is showing me? What is the market showing me in the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and the 30-minute that's helping me understand what I can do today or tomorrow or even next week or next month? Because that's why we study the market backwards. We're going from the largest time frame all the way up to the lowest time frame.
Yes.
So we understand this market's going down. We're at the 4-hour chart. Let's look left. Let's see what's happening. All right. I see that this market is currently respecting the support area as we decided earlier. On top of that, I see that the market, if we look at it, the market was trending down in this channel. You see this?
Yes.
And she broke it. So now my question is this a guaranteed breakout of a trend, or is this market starting to make a push to retest and continue going up? Because it seems like if we take our little drawing tool here, it seems like it's starting to form this inverted head and shoulders.
Head and shoulder, yeah.
Right? So we would need the market to come back, retest as always, and continue going up to confirm that.
Correct.
Hold on one second. So what happens is, this is where you can focus on looking for like signs, like maybe like this 3 candle formation here, this long red candle, right? This long red candle and then a halfway sized candle. But as we can see here, I have an upside down hammer, right? Which is called, which is usually
hangman,
signal, right? The hangman, yes, correct. And then here's another hammer that formed right after it. Now in the 4-hour chart, this is where I usually go ahead and try to understand long term what potentially can happen. So if I drew out my Fibonacci, right, from the top to the bottom of this trend that we drew out here, right? Let me see. Yeah. Right here. I can see that my support area where the market is at right now is the 50% of this Fibonacci retracement, which explains why every time the market tends to reach this area, it broke out. So if I move over and I understand already that, cool, I'm in the middle of possibly seeing a retracement here in the market, there's a lot that comes to it. But I understand that from the uptrend that it broke out of, right? Yeah. The market seems to be retracing, which is compiling with the decisions we made from the first step, right? Yes. Now, that's one sign of reversal, the bounce off of this 50 retracement line. You see that? That's one sign. Yeah. I look for 3 signs. For every decision I make, I need 3 confirmations. Remember that. I want you to develop. Okay. I want you to develop the same approach. For every time I make a decision, if I'm getting off the trade or if I'm getting in the trade, I need 3 confirmations. Yeah. All right. So now that we understand that we have at least 1 confirmation, what's the second confirmation? Cool. I still have the 1 hour and the 30 minute. So there's nothing wrong with going back from the 4 hour, the 1 hour and 30 and looking for those 3 confirmations. You don't need 3 confirmations to move on for each time frame. You understand that? Yeah. But sometimes each chart gives you a lot of information that you need. You understand? So that's why, let's go down to the 1 hour chart. And still, you see here, when the market broke out of this trend, right? The trend was not as important as the support line that it broke out of. You see that? So when the market broke out of the support area, what did the market come back to do? After that candle finished developing, came back and did what?
Retested.
Which we were looking for in the larger time frames, remember? So that's a confirmed breakout of this zone that it was in. And that trend is no longer valid here, unless if the market makes a rebound here and comes back up, right? So here's my second sign of reversal. What do you see here? If we if we started using this here, this trend line here, right?
Yeah.
What do you notice there?
A touch.
Double bottom.
Yep.
Double bottom, right?
Yeah, double.
So now for this double bottom to continue going up, it can also form a ascending triangle here. You see this?
Yes.
Because, excuse me, all I'm doing is drawing out my support area, my resistance area, and I want to see the market either continue ranging in this price zone, right? Or this trend that,
Yeah.
or we just want to simply see a what? A push up, retest, and continue going.
Yes.
So that can be our potential third sign of confirmation that this market is going to go up in the midterm, as opposed to maybe in the long term. Like we decided that the market is going up, right? I mean, going down.
Yeah, going down.
Here's the 30-minute chart. We understand what? We understand already that the market's at an important support area, right? We understand that the market refused to break that support area. We understand that the market touched a 50% retracement area, right? And we also understand what? That the market is currently forming another uptrend that is potentially another what? Ascending triangle.
Yeah.
And it's potential, it's at that resistance area where if it breaks out, retests, and continues going, we have a confirmed breakout that the market is starting to make a push up, right?
Yeah.
So we already have 3 confirmations here where I'm looking at the market and saying, okay, I think I'm potentially ready to either buy this trade for the short term, maybe catch a quick 20 to 100 pips, right?
Yep.
Or I can be patient and understand what this trade is doing. So when I do enter this trade, if I do start looking at the 15, the 5, and the 1, I can say to myself, you know what? You know what, Jose? If I wait a little bit longer, I feel way more comfortable entering this trade, as opposed to just because I see the opportunity. I don't want to be crazy looking at my phone every 5-10 minutes if I'm on the go somewhere. Or I don't want to be stuck on the computer because I got kids. You understand?
Yes.
That's the logic you want to apply to your decisions when entering a trade, because you have to understand you do have a life as well.
Yes.
Right? So let's review real fast before we go to the last step, which is looking for a point of entry. Tell me so far if you're understanding the first step when we're looking at the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. Did that clarify for you maybe some misunderstandings or anything? Or if you do misunderstandings, what can it be?
Yeah, I think it's more on the reversal that I'm a little bit confused. Like you said earlier, that a lot of us actually are just looking for those signs. We're not really focusing on what is appearing in front of us, where the market really is going. And I think that's the one where I'm stuck. Because the moment I go into the reversal, I will just, oh, where's the triangle? Where's the wedge?
Correct.
So
signs of reversal from the overall trend.
Yes, from the overall.
You get that? And when I speak trend of the market, I'm speaking like which direction is the market moving? Is the market's direction moving up long term or down long term? Yes, I understand that there's a whole bunch of factors over the next 6 months, right? But long term, is that trade for the next 6 to 8 months going to go up or down? We understand that it's in a downtrend, right? We don't want to trade up long term, but we understand that we can potentially find a trade amongst that reversal going up before she makes that strong push down. You understand? So I want you to focus on this, Gilda. Step 1, write this down. We're focusing on the direction of the market. We're paying attention to what the market is showing us at that current time frame, being the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, right?
Yeah.
Second, we're looking for 3 confirmations. It doesn't matter if you go, if you swindle between the monthly and the daily. You understand? It doesn't matter how you do it. You can focus on each time frame and try to find 3 confirmations, which gives you more clarity and more confidence. Or you can use the 3 of them to help you make that decision before you move on to the second step, right?
Yeah.
Now I'll give you some time to write that down. And then I want you to focus on this next. You ready?
Yeah.
Step 2. Any sign that the market is not going to follow what we decided on step 1. Just write that down. Yes, you can look for triangles. Yes, you can look for head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders, or use your Fibonacci. You can use all the tools and you know, the price action formations or whatever it is, candlestick patterns. You can use whatever you want. Just make sure you understand before you move on to place a trade, or if you're going to look for a possible entry on a trade, understand if you're confident that the market is doing what you're seeing it's doing.
Okay.
All right. And now let's move on to step 1, which is looking for a possible entry, right?
Yeah.
So we understand that the market broke out of this channel. We understand that the market bounced off of the support area, which is also the 50% retracement area, right?
Yes.
We also understand that the market is potentially about to break out of this resistance area, right? So
yes.
I wanted to enter this trade on a buy. I'm going to look for a what? Support area.
Yes.
Right? So
Correct.
if I'm looking for a support area and the market is at a resistance area, does it make sense for me to enter a trade right now?
No.
No, especially the fact that we haven't gotten 3 confirmation points, right?
Yes.
So I want you to focus on this now. On the 15-minute, the 5, and the 1, this is where you're going to look for anything that's going to give you clarification that you're at a good support area, right?
Yeah.
That's going to signal the direction you want to enter the trade.
Yeah.
So let's say you spot, let's say here, let's say we go to the 5-minute chart here, and we notice that the market formed an inverted head and shoulders here, right? It's also at a support area. It's also currently trending up, which seems to be a symmetrical triangle. I want to see the market break out, retest of that resistance of that triangle, and then possibly enter on a test entry, because that gives me three confirmations, right? I have the bottom. I have this triangle that it formed. I have this small inverted head and shoulders. If I need to go down to the 1 minute to gain more clarity, here it is. Here's the shoulder. Here's the head. Here's one shoulder. But guess what? Look, if we go on the 1 minute, we noticed what? The market did what?
Went down.
It went down, right? So that's why you never want to jump the gun. Look, just find out what's going on. Understand, hey, look, this is a potential support area that the market can enter. Let me change this color to red is good, right? This is a possible area of support, right?
Yes.
If the market comes down, touches this, and continues going up, there's my confirmation of my inverted head and shoulders. So if I wanted to enter this trade, I'm not going to enter when it hits here, right? I'm going to wait till the market breaks back in here, retest, enter here. You see that?
Yeah.
And then I will count 15 pips. 15 pips to see if my entry is valid or if that is a good stop loss area. Worst case scenario, if I enter like with like a 0.10, I only lose like $15 as opposed to.
Or are you recording something?
I lose $15 as opposed to, you know, what's up? I lose $15 as opposed to going ahead and like blindly jumping into this trade, right, with a higher lot size.
Yes.
And saying to myself, you know what? I made a mistake. This trade is actually not ready to continue going up. I could have waited maybe till down here, and now the trade drops to down here. You understand?
Yeah.
And you failed to make that decision because you properly didn't analyze the 15, the 5, and the 1 minute chart, which is for you to make a decision if you're ready to enter this trade or not.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but give me a second, baby. I'm with one of my students, okay? Grab a paper over there and do it. Okay, give me this.
You too.
Now that. This guy.
What did he do?
Nothing.
Yeah.
So, any questions before we continue?
It's clearer. It's more clearer now.
Yeah. So this is what we're gonna go over. This is what we're gonna go over on the first day of the course. On the live course on Monday. The second day we're gonna go over. We're gonna go over the Fibonacci's. We're gonna go over all that again. The third day of the course, we're gonna go over Wyckoff, like understanding Wyckoff and its basics. And then on the fourth and the fifth day, what we're gonna do is put it all together, and then on the fifth day, on the fourth day, and the fifth day, I'm gonna show you guys how I put everything together, and how I'm able, like you said, 80% of the trades you've been taking from the alerts I've been sending you are successful, right?
Yes.
Then that shows you if I'm successful 80% of the times on signals that I'm sending, Gianna, excuse me. If I'm sending you 80% success, excuse me. If I'm sending you signals that you're getting 80% of success rate, exactly what I'm teaching you is how I'm sending you these signals. So then when you understand and put it all together, Gilda, you'll be able to say to yourself, you know what? I can now give my own trades. You understand? I can now understand where I'm going wrong. If I lost a trade, I can say to myself, hey, look, wow, I entered this trade, but I didn't realize that there was this area here that I should have paid attention to. You understand?
Yes.
So here, remember how I told you? It bounced off of this red line. It came down a little bit below it. And now look what it's doing.
It went back.
And where would we have entered this trade? Where I told you, on a small entry, right? On a small entry, we would have entered here, right? And waited for that retest. Now we want to see if the market continues going up. Then this is where most people fail because they don't understand. Just because you went through the 3-step system to find this trade, you cannot ignore the trade as you place it. Yes, you're confident in the trade. Yes, you understand. But if you're here actively surveying the charts as the trade goes, right?
Yes.
Then what is your job? Your job is to, if you're in this trade and you're not looking for other opportunities, then what you're going to do is just go backwards on how you started. So if you're going to do you're going to do the monthly to the minute chart, then this way you're going to go from the minute up to what? If you expect this trade to be a 4-hour trade, a 1-hour trade, a few minute trade, then you focus on those time frames. You understand?
Yes.
So why don't we go ahead and take some time to answer some of your questions, and then we can test this out. What do you say?
Yeah.
How do you feel right now though? Like, do you feel you still have some, like, what do you feel hazy about still? What are you not understanding?
Like you just mentioned it, like after you take the trade, what's the next thing that you're going to do? Like you have to move back and forth if I'm on my 4-hourly trading or 1-hourly trading and see whether this trade is still going to continue.
Correct. So let's say here, I went through my 3 steps, right? And I entered this trade. Let's say I entered GBP USD. And I want to say to myself, okay, Jose, I entered this trade. I determined my take profit, right?
Yes.
Because that's what we're doing on the 15, the 5, and the 1. If I'm entering here, I also have to understand potential support and resistance areas, right? So if I told you, focus on catching 20 to 40 pips, no more than that, right? We're now 20 pips up. All right, if this is an area I would like to enter, what's 20 pips above that? So here, the entry that we took was, let's say if this was the entry, 1.33 1.3351, right? That means we would have to catch this trade to
71.
71, correct.
Yes.
There we go, Gilda, counting pips. Okay.
It's working.
So we go here, right? We click on 71. That means here, cool, perfect. That's a good resistance area. Hey, look, the market, when it touched here back then, hey, this is not a bad trade. Jose, all right. Now I know my take profit. This is one take profit. Where's my second take profit? Let's count 20 pips above that. 91, right?
Yes, 91.
So here, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to look for it. 91. Here we go. Where we at? Okay, 91. Bang, that's my second take profit. So if I go ahead and start typing into these things, take profit 2. Take profit 1. Here's my entry. Buy entry, right? What am I going to look for? 15 pip stop loss, right?
Yeah, 15.
If I enter that 1.3351, we're going to count 15 pips, right? So
yes.
15 pips of that is 26, no? No, that's 16. I'm having trouble with math right now. Hold on. 1.33513 minus 0.0015 equals 1.3336. There we go. I'll just type it in here. 1.3336. Let's go with 3. So this is my stop loss, right?
Yep.
So here, if you go on trading view, you're going to put a long position, right? This is entry. You use this, you bring this up to your 15 pip stop loss. And then you say, this is my 40 pip trade. Here we go, guys. This is my entry. This is my stop loss. Here's my take profit. If I want to extend it because I believe it's going to take some time, there we go. I have one trade that I set. If I want to go ahead and check out how this trade goes in the future, even if I don't take it, I publish it. Yeah. GBP USD 40 pip trade idea. Okay, here's an analysis. I believe we can catch a 40 pip trade off this pair, let's say. I'm just giving you some tools that I use. Publish private idea. Here she goes. Trend analysis. GBP USD. Okay, bang. There we go, Gilda. I have our first trade idea. What we'll do is we'll review this. You understand? And this just helps you organize yourself. You understand? This is why I like using TradingView. Because now I understand that we looked at this trade from long term to short term. We understand what? That the market is going to potentially do a reversal, right? Going up, right? So maybe if, let's say, I can catch a few of these trades, right? Let's say we plot out. Let's go to the 15-minute chart real quick. Right? Let's say we plot out our 100 pips. So we caught the trade at 133.513. We're going to go to 134.513. Right? This is our 100 pips.
Yeah.
Right? This is our 100 pips. This is our entry. Take profit 3, take profit 2, take profit 1, stop loss. I just showed you how I send you guys signals.
Yeah. I still yet to convert myself looking at TradingView. I'm still using the MT4. Yeah, because I'm so used to it.
Try using TradingView, because I mean, for me, I like TradingView because anything I do to the charts today saves it. Yeah. You create a profile, it saves it. And when let's say for instance, my phone died. Let me show you my iPad. Give me 1 second. So on my iPad, the reason I like TradingView is because let's say I'm on the go. I usually have my iPad with me or my phone, and on the app, let's say I go to GBP USD. The same chart that I'm looking at and the same time frame that I'm looking at on my computer screen is going to show me on the iPad. See, everything we marked here today on my,
that's good.
It's saved on my iPad app. Excuse me. You understand?
Yes.
So, I like this. Another thing is that, you know, it allows you to share your ideas, and then people tend to agree with you or they disagree, and they'll leave you a comment like, hey, I actually see this happening. And I don't personally take perspective of anyone, but it's good for you to see, hey, I got this trade. Let's say I guess this 100 pip trade. I caught the 100 pips.
Yes.
Here, use this. 100 pips, and now everybody's like saying, hey, Gilda, thank you. You gave me